What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Pain Sucks podcast. It has been a while. There's been a lot that's gone on in my world and a lot that I'm going to introduce you to today. So if you haven't, go back and listen to the previous episodes because they're amazing. They get downloaded all the time and people really talk about how much help they've been. But I want to introduce you to someone that's new to my world and now is going to be new to your world. This is Dr. Justin Ard.
Hi, guys.
And we are now doing something awesome together here in Tennessee. And we're really working together now on helping people fix pain. So remember, this Pain Sucks podcast was born out of my own need to figure out why I couldn't get better with other people's recommendations for disc herniations. And again, I'm not going to bore you with all of those details. You can go back and listen to my own story, but it put me on a journey back almost just about 8 years ago on how we as a country really suck at helping pain, except for the fact that pain itself sucks. And so we really want to get into today what is pain, but at the same time we want to introduce you to what this podcast is now going to be about. So for a long time it was about tips for herniations and issues with back and neck problems that involve the disc in certain areas, and that's okay. We're going to go back and still revisit that, but we want to broaden that scope because one of the things I've learned from Justin and just partnering up with this is that there is so much more that you all are not aware of that you need to be aware of to avoid surgery and to get off harmful medications and just to let your body heal right. So I'm going to start with this. Everybody's got their own definition, but Dr. Justin, what would you say is your best definition of what pain is?
Pain is the body's way of telling you that there's something going wrong. Plain and simple. You know, the way we're wired, our nervous system, our brain, and all the nerves, like that, when there's any type of tissue damage or sprain strain injuries or any type of stress on the body, like a lot of times that malfunction inside of the body receives in our body as pain. Like we sense that as pain.
Right. I love that. And so one of the things that I, as a chiropractor for all these years, had been attuned to is this idea that pain is always a bad thing and you're supposed to get away. We actually named it Pain Sucks. However, the truth of the matter is maybe pain doesn't always suck. Are there opportunities and times when pain is a good thing for us to have in our body?
Of course. Yeah. Pain is that warning sign. Pain lets us know when we've pushed it a little bit too far or when there's damage going on or if there's just something going wrong that needs our attention.
Right.
Like that things that we've put on the back burner for so many years and we just kind of ignore it. And finally, a lot of times that first sign or even that last sign that it's like your body's like, look, like this needs our attention right now. This is our way of getting it, is that pain signal.
Exactly. And so for me, as the moment of recording this, I'm looking at almost 22 years in practice, and we're 12. So, between us and then even Dr. Jesse, who's here, is, we're well over 50, 60 years of doing this. But one of the things that is very consistent across the board, and outside of a significant, I just got in a car accident, the reason so many people are in pain is because we have a really crappy definition of how to stay healthy.
Yes.
So what would you say to someone who's like, I'm in pain, when you know that it's been a really probably crappy way of life that got them there?
Well, and what it boils down to is that there's not many pain options. You know what I'm saying? Like that for so many years, what we were just taught, it's like, look, take some ibuprofen, go lay on the couch or whatever like that, and if your pain goes away, you're fine. Okay. Well, most people, the way scar tissue works and everything, most people, we can just get you to lay around for a couple of days and you might feel better. Like that. Or if it's bad enough, they run to the hospital.
Right.
Like they run into urgent care. Like that. And I can tell you now, guys, like my mom's an RN, my dad's a paramedic. I grew up in the hospital like that. They hate pain. Right. They're not good at it. They only have one thing to give you for pain.
Right.
Like that. And they send you home with some stuff and go, please don't come back here.
Right.
Like that is not their world at all. Like that's, you kind of get stuck in the system of like, I feel good, I feel bad. I feel good, I feel bad. And I only feel good if I take all this stuff.
Right.
It's a terrible system to be in.
And what leads us to that system, as someone who's done this a long time, both of us a long time, is that we're kind of taught that you're okay until you have that pain, right? Yes. So how many times a day do we meet a new person and you ask them questions like, what do you think brought this on? And they're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you just start asking questions like, were you an athlete growing up? Yeah. Tell us about your birth process. hey, what did mom cook and put in your mouths when you were a kid? Like, what are you doing now? And all. So the thing is that most of the time people are sitting here with probably really good ways to handle their own pain that they just don't know how to do. And I don't ever blame anyone, because I think it's sort of one of those things, like, they don't know where to start.
Well, we were never taught any of this.
Right.
We were never taught any of this stuff. Just look at what's on TV every single day that we're watching. All the ads, everything that goes on there. It's 50,000 medication commercials. It's this and that. And then they talk about prevention. And their prevention is, like, you're good until you're not.
You're good until you're not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, okay, gotcha. Right. It's like, well, that's not really a way of preventing anything.
Right.
It's not active at all.
Right. And so pain sucks. It really is true. We don't want it.
No.
But
no.
I am grateful for it.
Pain's terrible. We both experienced our own.
Pain's no good.
Pain's not a good thing.
It's no good. And the thing about pain is that it needs to be approached from multiple angles. So you have things like where people are always talking about, I think I pulled something, or I strained something, or I think it's an inflammation problem, or whatever. But the truth is, it's a whole array of things that have gone on in your life that need to be addressed.
Right.
Yeah.
No, 100%. You know, and pain varies from, it's like, it can be very specific. Like, I twisted my knee today and my knee hurts.
Right.
And then you go on the other end of that and you go, well, now I've got systemic complaints. Like, I don't feel good and my body aches from head to toe.
Right.
Like that. Or, like, what if you have digestive issues? These people are high stress levels. Right. Like, you know, the way your body is chemically wired. Like that all the time, like that, you're firing pain receptors because that's your body's really only way to get your attention.
It reminds me, the other night, actually, my little, at the time of this recording, she's 11 and I'm almost 12. She's just been a little bit stressed out with some things in life. And she just kept saying for about 2 hours, my stomach hurts. Or she goes, my tummy hurts, right? That pain is not indicative of like a massive digestion problem.
Right.
She's literally stressing herself into pain.
Yeah.
We have any stress in this world right now?
Every day, all the time.
Yeah. Right.
We both have children.
Yeah.
We both have family.
Right.
We all this stuff. Oh my goodness. Like
so it brings me to this thing where I want you to understand that we are going to address every aspect of pain on this weekly podcast, because pain has multiple levels. So we've got an emotional side, we've got a physical side, we've got a chemical side, we've got spiritual sides, we've got quantitative sides. We've got all kinds of things that you need to know about. So we're sitting in this room right here, where on any given day, we might be walking through someone with stretching routines that will help them. We might be adjusting someone in this room. We might be administering regenerative medicine in this room, or IV therapies in this room. We might be, the other day I was in this room, literally, I'm not a counselor, but walking someone off the ledge with their mindset.
That's exactly what happens.
Yeah, they felt so much better after a good person to talk to.
With our clinic and the way it works, and it's so open, and there's so many people in, and the energy is so high. You know, I joke with people a lot, but it's very true. Where, you know, emotional pain, like emotional stress on your body, like presents as physical pain a lot of times. Like, there's been so many books written about it. Like, the body keeps the score on all this. Right. And I joke with a lot of people. I was like, look, we don't even have to touch you. Like, if you would just come into our office and sit in the middle of it for like 3 hours and just be around all of this, you would get better.
Right. And there's techniques for these type of things. So the local people come in here, and you've even joked, and you're like, hey, Matt, do that voodoo-y thing you do on them. But it's an emotional adjustment. It's getting people realigned and rebalanced so that they can begin this process of healing from a normal place again. So what we want to do is introduce ourselves again, me again, and Justin for the first time, and let you know that what we want for this to become is a weekly resource for you. Some weeks it's going to be us talking at you. Other weeks it might be an interview with someone who had some success or an expert in the field. Some weeks it's going to be you observing us doing certain things with folks. We're going to have resources online for you. We're going to have Facebook pages for you to ask questions. We want you to send in your questions because we don't want to assume that we have all the answers. But we don't want to leave one stone untouched. If you go back and you look at the first 25 episodes of Pain Sucks, you will see that it's all over the place. There are interviews with emotional healers. There are interviews with regular chiropractors. There's interviews with regenerative medicine experts, because it's not fair that all you have in your bag is an Advil, and when that doesn't work, you got to go see the guy in the white coat, who's also frustrated that you have pain because he doesn't know what to do for it, right? So our goal for now, until you don't want to let us help you anymore, whether virtually or here in the office, is going to be just keeping you on top of everything that you have at your disposal and you can do to be healthy, and so that you don't have to go and look at somebody and go, man, this pain sucks.
Right. Well, it's about living your life.
Right.
Like that's what this boils down to. Like so many people come in and they think it's just pain, and then you start relieving some of those things, and you start getting to some underlying causes of this pain, like that, and they come back and they go, man, I'm sleeping better. My energy levels are through the roof now. Like I think better. It's all this stuff that goes on like that. So pain sucks, but the fact is that it's about getting a life back, not just surviving through it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we felt like this was a necessity to do, again, because it gets too easy sometimes. It gets too comfortable just to get into a lane and realize that there's people everywhere that are hurting at different levels that you could really reach out to. So kind of our mission. The truth is that what we'll do is, you can go back and listen to my story, but next week what we'll actually do is have Justin tell you his story why he became a chiropractor and got into that field. And then what we're going to do is it's going to be week after week of just bombarding you with information. So we're excited. So please tell people that you know to watch this. We're going to keep them short and simple. We don't want you'd have to spend long hours of your day. There will be some times when we have an expert, we'll do like a big interview. But
nobody's got time for 20-minute podcasts every single day, all the time, everywhere.
Right. And the nice thing is on iTunes and Spotify and stuff, they can listen at like 2 speed or 1.
Right. Exactly.
So, anyways, guys, be blessed, be healthy. Remember, this is our tagline with Pain Sucks. No one, and I mean absolutely no one, tells you that you can't heal.
Absolutely.
Be blessed.
Amen.